Hey, how'd my father die?
49 times we fought that beast, your old man and me. Had a chicken head with duck feet, with a woman's face too.
Oh, that's rad.
It was waiting in the bushes for us. Then it ripped off your dad's face. He was screaming something awful. In fact, there was this huge mess, and I had to change the floors.
The floors?
You see, his blood had drained into the boards, and I had to change them. But we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. 'Cause something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love.
Yo, never knew my dad, he didn't care about me. Dead horizon is all my macro binoculars see. Moisture farming all my life and not a drop spilled. My aunt and uncle double sons and sipping blue milk. My aunt and uncle double sons, I'm sick of blue milk.
But then a desert hobo came and told me we all got a chicken duck woman thing waiting for us. Every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Yeah, something's waiting in the bushes of love. Yeah, every day I worry all day about what's waiting in the bushes of love. Something's waiting in the bushes for us. Something's waiting in the bushes of love. Hold me when I open like a flower. Hold me right. Yeah, I ain't had to bake for a girl in a long time. A long time.
I think my cooking's awesome.
I've got her picture in my photo wagon.
I keep it poppin'.
Yeah, she'd probably love to honky tonk.
Probably love to honky tonk.
That's what I said. Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder faith that I don't find what I don't wanna find. Waiting for me around the corner, oh no, no.
Waiting for us.
I used to ride across the desert, you know. I used to glide on my speeder faith that I don't find anymore.
Crispy bodies by the door.
Do not wear that outfit again. But if you wanna keep your skin, because I want to fit in. Sorry, you're just not terribly important to me. Did you know that Whitney Houston's debut beat her phone #1 single song? Did you know that Christy, there are no girls with good personalities? I don't think we should see each other anymore. It never was supposed
What is happening?
Everyone's getting the girlfriend experience tonight, and they don't even have to pay for it.
I did not see that coming at all.
Shit happens. All right. So.
Okay. I like it. Two birds, one stone kind of thing.
I need this. I really need this right now. So look at people pay on OnlyFans a lot for this. Everyone is seeing this for free. For free, yes. I mean, not that I really would know, but so I've heard. It's a girlfriend experience.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that what it is?
For like 5 more minutes, guys. I had a long day.
Well, all right then. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Appreciating Comic Book Art Live. Smash the like if you haven't done that yet, please. Hit the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. Become a member if you would like. I would really appreciate it. But definitely smash the like and comment below after the stream. Let us know what you think of the show. If you have anything that you want to talk about that's not live stream, I love engaging with you guys after the show. It's great. Plus, it looks good for the algorithm. So I'm told that that's a good thing. That's what I'm told. We'll see. Neff, I saw was the first. From what I saw, was the first. He said, "What's good, nerds? What is good for you, brother? Hope everything is going good." Marc, I actually ordered the 3-pack of the different SHI rough cut editions from Billy's last Second Chance campaign. Love seeing the progress or the process of how it's done. Yeah, that's we had talked last week about watching a drawing stream. And I was like, it'd be kind of cool to have a theme of just, a little bit behind the scenes of how things are created. Now, the drawing stream we're going to watch is Marc Silvestri doing a sketch at I think it's San Diego Con from 2015 or something. I can't remember.
Cool.
But I was like, it's cool to show everybody that comes and checks his channel out, like the behind the scenes process of making a comic book. And one of the coolest things I've seen is Billy Tucci doing his rough cuts. Now, this isn't like the finished pencils, but this is like the layout stage. And it's really cool to see him do an entire book of layouts with the script. So we're going to take a look at that. If you guys haven't backed any of the SHI campaigns, I highly recommend you do. I think he's got a new one coming out here shortly. I can't wait for it. But everyone he puts out this rough cut. And it's absolutely awesome if you love the process of comic books or drawing comic books or anything like that. It's absolutely awesome. So we're going to check that out tonight. We got Hail the Lord in the house. Hail the Lord. Apex Comics, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. We got Past Master Dan peeking out from the business.
Bushes.
Oh, the bushes business. Jeez. Dyslexic. I'm a dyslexia. Mick Short's in the house. What up, legends? What up to you?
I love that.
David G.
We're legends now.
I don't like that.
I'm fucking legendary.
He said, "Great." Now the song will be stuck in my head all night. Yes. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. We got Hojo. Good to see you, brother. Had a really fun time last Thursday talking to Hojo. Everybody check out his book that he's got coming out. It was fun. It's a good conversation. Good guy. Definitely have him on again. We've got Delight Loves Movies. Greetings from Australia. Well, greetings for you. Good morning. I think it's morning-ish out there, I believe. What about? Hail to you. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We got Tarks9, member of the channel. We got Astro Zombie, member of the channel. By the way, that Youngblood 4 is going to be shipped out to you hopefully soon. Dale is sending it to me. I got the tracking number for it. So once I get that, it's coming out to you as fast as we can. We got Highway Robbery in the house. Yo. Good to see you.
Yo.
Good to see you. Matt. Is it Wednesday yet? Longest intro in comics.
It's definitely the coolest intro.
Yeah. So. It's the catchiest. I make it stuck in everybody's head. That's what we do here. Got Deer Man in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you again. Thank you for being here. Blue Boy. Hail, Joe. Hail to you. Hail to you.
I like the shark.
You got Bordeaux in the house. My OnlyFans is Chimera, what's going on?
I got a package from Chimera. I haven't even had a chance to open yet. We're gonna have to open it like next week.
If you're just joining us, Kayla is doing. I don't know what I really don't know what the hell she's doing, but it's something.
My eyes are puffy, so I'm cooling them down. So I'm just cooling them down. All right. I got
Hail Victor
on here, but eyelashes I can't get off once again. So.
There you go. Trade secrets, I guess, everybody. Welcome to Appreciating Comic Book Art and Makeup Tips. We got Victor Rodriguez in the house. He says, "Hail, Joe. It's been a few months since I've seen a live stream." Well, thank you for being here, man. I hope this is going to be a fun one. I know it's going to be a fun one. I've been looking forward to this one. This is definitely gonna be fun. We got Perth Comics in the house. Hail to you. We got comics. Comic pit stop.
So how are the girls covering black baggy eyes? They do that with makeup. I'm not like a big makeup person. You know, I'm not. I like skincare. I'm really into skincare. I'm obsessed with skincare. So
we got Max Santiago. Hola to all. Hola to you. Blue Boy says, thank you, mommy, but Joe is the only man I have eyes for. Well, thank you. I'll take that. That's a huge compliment. I appreciate that. I like to know these things. All right, Kayla.
All right.
You ready for this?
Yeah, I gotta peel these off now. It's time.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll watch. There we go. Oh, yeah. The magic, everybody.
They're like brighter.
Oh, nice. I guess this could double as like, one of those makeup tutorial YouTubes. I hear those do fairly good.
I mean, I wouldn't want me to do makeup. That would be bad. I struggle putting lipstick on.
Well, that's good to know. That's good to know. All right. We're going to do 2 parts of this show. One, we're going to look at Billy Tucci's SHI, rough cut. I think this is for Hakio. I can't never pronounce the name. I think this is from the second one. And then we're going to take a look at Marc Silvestri doing a badass Wolverine sketch from one of the San Diego Comic-Cons a few years back. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to try to end this fairly early. My dad's going into surgery tomorrow at noon, so I've got to get up early so I can help get him to the hospital. So we're going to get rolling with this, and let's have a good time. Let's go. Let's do it. Billy Tucci's sheet. Let's rock and roll. Hakido. Billy was on once and he said it perfectly. I was like, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna butcher the name of that. I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I mean, Billy Tucci is phenomenal. I've actually met Billy Tucci quite a few times. He's very friendly with Larry Harrison and Jim Turnus, who I work with at the shop and worked cons. I believe I've been to dinner with Billy a couple times, I think, with Larry and Jimmy. So Billy is a really nice guy, and his wife is lovely. He's been doing SHI for such a long time. I want to say, I don't know how many people are aware, but SHI has sold millions of copies. It's been translated in 5 languages. It's been printed and translated in 5 different languages.
He was part of the big indie boom. I mean, besides obviously Indie or Image and all the big guys, but he was one of the guys in the 90s that was part of the big indie boom with Brian Pulido and all them doing the bad girl craze. So yeah, he's paved the way. An incredibly nice dude. And thank you guys. I appreciate the well wishes. My father broke his arm in 4 different places. He's going to be 75 in a couple weeks, so it is a little nerve-wracking for him to go in to have major surgery. So I appreciate you guys. I appreciate it very much. Hail, Jeremy Birds. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We also got Joseph. He says, Joe, don't be nervous. Everything will be good. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. I do. That means a lot. So this was one of the things, I mean, as an artist, I love seeing this because this is what pages look like right before you really render stuff out. When you're this is actually one of my favorite phases of making a comic book is the layout stage. And just getting everything into place the way you want it. It's a creative. The energy is there. Billy's storytelling is great. I've noticed that when I was looking through this, because it was a second since I've looked through this, she reminds me of the way he tells it is the way he draws it. Reminds me of it's a drama. It's almost like a drama that you would see played out on TV. Just the way that the story is, the story beats. How he includes his characters, it really does remind me more of a kind of a drama TV show than a comic book, but in an awesome graphic form for sure.
I feel like she always reads like a movie.
That's a better way to put it.
I feel like she always reads like a movie in a great way, because you get wrapped up in it, every aspect of it, and the artwork is just so gorgeous. The storytelling is great all around. There's a reason why it's so popular. Billy knows what he's doing. I mean, Billy's also like, he's an Inkpot Award recipient. I know he's been nominated for Eisner Awards. I don't know if he won an Eisner Award. I know that he won the Diamond Comics Gem Award, which to get that means you have to sell a lot through Diamond.
Besides all that, I mean, Billy's just a fantastic artist. Like, he draws in a very realistic style. You know, like, you guys have heard me talk on this channel before of the styles I usually get into is like the exaggerated realism, the 90s, you know, big bombastic art styles. And Billy can do that, but he also draws this, which is, it's much more realistic, but it's not boring. And because I've complained about realism too much in comics and the mainstream nowadays being boring. This is just good storytelling to the point where it doesn't get boring. You get sucked into this world, which is why I say, it reads like a movie. It feels like a movie, feels like a TV show because of just like how kind of realistic it is. You could see this kind of, playing out in front of you, like on the screen.
He had a book, A Child is Born, which it was.
Yes, I need to get that.
All right. We have it at Comics at Harrison's. I can grab you a couple copies. We have signed copies too.
Yes, do that. I would love that. Thank you.
There's how can I put it? It's a lot of realism. It's gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. A beautiful book. This style, yes, there is, like, I can see where you're saying it's like very realistic, but it's not nowhere like what I would say the realism is in A Child is Born.
Really?
This is definitely more like this is a realism approach to comic book art. He just has a very unique style. It works for him. I mean, that's why he sells the way that he does.
His proportions and the way he draws his characters, to me, is like the more realistic aspect, right? Like, if you look at the way I draw or some of the people I've really fallen in love with over the years, you have the broader shoulders, the longer legs, or like the heights of characters are usually like 13 feet or 13 heads high instead of like the typical 7 or 8 that they're supposed to be.
Yep, I get what you're saying.
Huh?
I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're talking about. But then the fight scenes that he does are very dynamic.
That's what I was going to bring up. Like, especially in this, I mean, like, he's got a great knowledge of like the Japanese culture, because I'm pretty sure this is Japanese, right? Yeah, Japanese, I believe. Or the Asian culture, we'll just say that, because we don't want to offend anybody out there. He's got great knowledge of Asian culture, fighting, all that kind of stuff. So the action scenes in this are very much based, I would say, on realistically of what you could do in situations with these swords. It's not like crazy jumping and like all this like I said before, like bombastic kind of stuff. It's a little bit more grounded, at least with this version of SHI. I haven't seen everything he's ever done with SHI. More so the newer stuff. I got into SHI when I was a kid, but I never like kept up on the entire series. So this is kind of coming back to SHI since he's been like in Comicsgate and doing crowdfunding. And I've got a little bit of the actual book after this because I kind of want, because there's a few things, if you guys have read the book, there's a few things from the rough stages to the finished pages that he has changed, for the better. But you can see like the ideas are all there. So you can look at the book in its entirety as you flip through, and you can see like, yeah, like this works. I want to change this. I've always wanted to work in more of a style like this where you rough out the entire book first. The problem is I get impatient and I just want to start working on pages. So I only like rough out like 3 or 4 pages and I start working on stuff because I'm just, impatient.
Nicholas Gear says that he's been a fan of SHI since the 90s. Following Billy is how he found CG, and that she's still one of his favorite characters, and in his opinion, the best CG book.
Yeah, it's a great character design. I mean, it's simple, but it works so well. You got the the dominant color of red. You got that white face just popping out with the black hair. It's just great design.
So right there on the right hand panel, the bottom panel, the last panel of that page on the right side, that is. Can I tell you, that is a very hard face perspective to draw.
The 3/4? Wait, what are we talking about? Which one?
So on the right-hand side.
Right-hand side. Yep.
Okay. Where the girl's turned to like this.
Yes.
That is one of the hardest angles for artists to draw.
The 3/4 shot. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
That is one of the hardest.
Absolutely.
People butcher that. Even some of the bigger names, like real big names, butcher that shot.
Truth. Yeah, it is. It's a very hard shot to do. Absolutely. I will attest to that. That's why, I mean, like, I will do every once in a while, I'll do a 3/4 shot, but a lot of times there's other shots you can do that maybe you can draw a little bit better. You know, it is hard to make look good. Sometimes it can look funky. The eyes can look weird. The nose placement can look weird. Yeah.
I love how these action scenes here, we can see them all roughed out like this. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like he did some, it looks like you can see some erasing lines and everything, like where movement placement and everything, which I love that. That's so cool. That's a great page there. I love a great eye panel. All of this here.
I knew you. Yeah, I knew it too. When I was making this video, I was like, I know when we get to this part in the show, Kayla's going to comment on the eyes because I know you love eyes. There's another great shot down the very last panel on the right page. Just great.
The mouth too here.
Yeah.
That's a great lips and teeth and nose in the proportion as well too.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he draws very good looking women very well. Yes. And he does it too without having to do like the style noses I draw are like the 90s kind of style noses. You know, he draws a much softer nose than maybe a sharper nose or just the kind of like the Turner or the Campbell's upturned nose that they would do with some women. But he makes it work very well. Like I said, again, a realistic aspect to his drawing, more so than what I would kind of do. Hail, Jasper, good to see you, brother.
No, Jasper, I do not have an OnlyFans. I do not have an OnlyFans. I was saying because I had a face mask on that you guys would get in the girlfriend experience. People pay for that. You know. But
now, I mean, maybe you make good money off of that doing the girlfriend experience. I don't know.
I'm not freaking making an OnlyFans. I will never do that. Look at my sister.
$50 a month.
My sister's a dominatrix. All right.
Oh, I keep forgetting that.
She won't even make an OnlyFans because she thinks that's under her for her line work. So what does that tell you?
Yeah. Them damn OnlyFans. Jasper says that he owns the Hayekio. I can't remember. I can't pronounce it. Sorry, guys. Rough gut. He wishes he would have removed the word balloons. I could see that. I could see that. I'd be fine without the word balloons too. I mean, it doesn't bother me, but I'd be fine without them. I love that shot.
Oh.
What happened?
Any trick to making matching eyes. I gave up and always had a creature crawling out of one because I didn't want to be completely lazy with eye patches. I don't know what the last word was. I have a trick actually. Patches. So if you do one eye.
Here we go. Right? Kayla is the expert at eyes, guys.
If you do one eye and you lay your pen, like say you.
There we go.
Hold on. So if you do one eye, right, you make an eye shape. And then you lay your pen like this, flat,
flattish.
And then you can go there and you can make a matching eye. So I hope that makes sense. It'd be easier if I had a camera where I could show. But yeah, I mean, I can make a matching eye and I can't even draw. Like the number one thing I draw is eyes. That's funny.
I've tried that technique, and if that doesn't work for you, because for some reason it still didn't work for me, I will actually draw very lightly sometimes just a couple lines that signify like the box of where I want to put the eyes in. So you keep the tops and bottom eyes are correct size wise, and they just fit right within there. And you can kind of even measure it with a ruler if you want to really get technical. To me, sometimes floating eyes, if they're not too bad, don't bother me, because you know what? In reality, people have floating eyes. Nobody is completely symmetrical when you look at their face. I make that argument all the time. You know, yeah, it's a drawing. You want it to look as best as it can, but I don't mind a little bit of inaccuracies. It makes more real to me. We got MB Bonner in the house. Says she. Yes, it is. I think this is the second book that Billy put out crowdfunding. I think, I'm not sure. Because there was Way of the Warrior, there's this one, and then the newest one just came out. But yeah, this is the roughs to the newest. We also got Edwin in the house. He says, "Hail, peeps! Hail to you, brother. Good to see you, man." There's somebody else I saw bouncing here. Did I say hey to everybody? I saw somebody else. Wait. Who you got? Maybe not. Maybe I got everybody. If I didn't say hey to you, I apologize. Yeah, thank you, yo. Awesome. Let me back up just a second. I'm missing stuff. I'm missing really cool stuff. I wanted. There you go. I'm talking about this. I'm missing the coolest part of this book when we start getting into this action here. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna back up just a little bit. There we go. That was the last time I was paying attention.
I like that other page there, back with the one page back. Yes,
right there.
The right hand page. That is gorgeous work.
Yeah,
everything about it.
Billy's really great in this book with showing emotion on the face, which is not the easiest or the most fun to do. Honestly, when you're drawing, sometimes you get stuck doing the same thing kind of over and over again. He's really leaned into the storytelling of the characters very, very well. Like, exactly what's going on with the characters, how they're feeling, based solely on their facial expressions, and that's masterclass, if I can say so, right there. With
that
Billy.
Is masterclass.
Yeah, this is one, like, I almost enjoy these more than the actual book, and that's just because they come from like an artist kind of point of view, I guess, of it. But stuff like this, I really it's almost like the back when there were Blu-rays, the extras or the behind the scenes stuff you'd always get in Blu-ray. Like, that's what I feel like the rough cut is for Billy's book, is you have the perfect looking book, which is a gorgeous looking book, by the way, guys. I've got it at the end of this. Yeah, I flipped through it a little bit at the end of this video. Just to kind of show you some things that have changed, or how they kind of came out. So gorgeous looking book. This is like the extras. I will get this every single time because I love seeing the mind, because this is what it is. You're seeing the mind of the artist work within the roughs, because that's where the majority of our work happens, is when we're roughing out a page. That's where the creativity happens. So you're seeing all the creative energy in the roughs right now, where you get to see the nice, beautiful finished product later. And this is my favorite part of drawing a comic book, is this stage right here. Action compels you to go further.
Yep, and then
yes,
Billy style, he's inspired by graphic designers of fashion magazines.
Oh, 100%,
here's a fun fact about Billy. He went to fashion art school. That's where he went to school. So
yeah, you can definitely tell with how he draws. Definitely how he draws the characters, how they're dressed and everything, which is a good thing. I mean, it's honestly a good thing that we should all do. I need to do more, keep in mind today's fashion. If you're doing a book that takes place in current day, whatever time that might be, yeah, you might want to keep an eye on whatever the current fashion is, because you don't want to
be careful with that. There's not much great.
I'm not talking about go into the fashion world and do all the crazy stuff, but you want to see, like, what are the popular haircuts and all that kind of stuff for certain characters of the world, because the problem is you don't want to look dated. And you can look dated if you're drawing hair that went out of style in the 80s, if you're drawing this or that, it can look outdated. That was always one thing that I listened to. I want to say Marc Silvestri said it in an article I read, because he does the same thing that Billy does. He keeps up on today's fashion, so he can draw women more, whether it's clothes, whether it's hairstyle, whatever, but it's a good thing, and Billy definitely does it. No, that's what I meant to say.
Holy shit.
Long-winded.
There's so much in there.
What's cool, guys, if you've read this book, this scene, I believe this is the end of the book here. Let me see if I can skip back a page.
That definitely is like heading towards like the grand finale. I mean, this right here, that would probably be the climax of the book right here.
Well, we're getting into the point where the villain of the book summons like all the spirits. And when that happens, Billy's drawing the main characters that are all having this big battle at the end. And then he's also drawing all these ghosts. And it's really awesome how, I missed it. Let me go back. I'm doing too much talking and not enough looking at the actual page. The way he does the ghost is awesome because he's drawing them transparent, and the way they actually do it with the color and the finishing of the book just makes it look amazing. Yeah, like you can see, like up at the top, you got this skeleton. It's just not a lot of detail to it because it's supposed to be this transparent character, and you get like a ton of them all throughout this portion of the book as the spirits of the warriors, whatever it is. I'll be honest with you guys. I have not read the entire book.
That's probably the rising action there.
Yeah,
this is all probably rising action.
Yeah, Wow is right, man. When I read the book, because I read I look through the book because I don't read that much. I skim and I look at art. That's what I do. I looked at the main book that came out first. And I was just blown away because they don't use an inker. What Billy does is he draws, he pencils the book, and then he has his finisher go over his pencils with his pencils, and then they go straight from pencil to color. So it gives it kind of a very painterly feel almost to the way that they do this book. Yeah, and it's just a gorgeous looking book, especially when I will show you the actual book here in a second with some of the colors. The color palette that the colorist used on this book was incredible. Like, this was just a pleasurable book to look at, besides being so well drawn and just the storytelling. And this is the thing, guys. I'm trying not to ramble. Sorry, I smoked a little bit. Take my mind off of things. This is the thing that about an artist like Billy or any of the guys that I love to follow is that I can look at the book, I can go through the entire book and get a great sense of what is going on without having to dive too much into the actual script or story of it, because the storytelling is so well done with the line work. If you want some production pit,
that's gorgeous there at the end.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. Sorry. No, I'm glad you brought that up because I want to look at that, but I was looking at the chat. I keep getting distracted.
Yeah, it just says if you want some production pit art, there may be still some auctions going on north of Maine. Maritime, Hiding, Allen auctions, lots 8 to 12. Maritime, okay. Hidden. Sorry. I said okay. Hidden.
I guess check that out if you're in that area. Pastmaster Dan said, I find the lack of splort disturbing. I know, right? Gotta get a little bit more splort in there. Turtlenecks are out, yes. Or are they? I don't know. Sometimes
unless you're a woman, turtlenecks are like a staple. A black turtleneck and a white turtleneck are a staple. You can wear them with heels and jeans. You can wear them with skirts. It is a wintertime staple for women. Sorry.
There you go. Now we know. Jasper says Kelsey is also really good at doing facial expressions. Yeah, he is. I think Shane Davis is. Pretty much Ethan. Like, pretty much, in my opinion, guys that have been in the industry have to really get into drawing facial expressions because you can't get away with it in comics. You can have stories where characters are a little bit more like scowling, and that's all fun because that's easy to do. But to actually get it somewhere in comics, you have to be able to do facial expressions. Editors,
I think it's the range of expressions that he shows. Billy shows like a range of expressions, but he somehow manages to keep the face looking soft at the same time. There's a softness to the faces, like in a more like an emotional tone. Like you see this face here, there's a softness to that.
Yep. I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, that's exactly what he does with his characters. And he does exactly what I say about drawing women's faces. You right there? Okay.
No, I just read a comment from Bordeaux. I almost choked and died on that one.
I like it. Yeah, good one. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Give me a second.
Less detail in a female's face. Get what needs to be there: eyes, lips, nose, eyebrows, eyelashes, all that kind of stuff. Less detail though, because that is going to keep the woman looking the most feminine, soft, sexy you can do. Once you start throwing in extra lines and trying to be all fancy, unless you absolutely know what you're doing, you can make the female character look older, look ugly. Yeah, there's so many things you can do if you mess around too much with the face. And this is the way to do it right here. Less detail.
You also too have to be careful with how you do eyebrows. You have to be very careful with how you do eyebrows as well. And I think one of the keys is the eyes and the lips on the female character's face. You know, that's, at least for me, that's what makes the female face like really pretty in a comic book. Is how
absolutely.
The eyes are drawn. You have to be very careful with the eyebrows, because the eyebrows right there, they're gonna like, you can make someone look like straight evil, like confused, pleasantly surprised. A lot of it is in the eyebrows.
Oh, I love eyebrows, which sounds weird, but yeah, because there's so much that is where you can really show a lot of your expression is in the eyes or in the eyebrows, and the way you just can move them around. Once you figure that out when you're drawing, it's a little bit more fun to start doing different scenes with characters. Leander says, "Hail to the panel, the great talented artist Joe and the phenomenal streamer Kayla. Let's go." Is this the pure line or rough cuts? I'm looking. Oh, this is the rough cuts. Yeah, this is the rough cuts. I love the rough cuts, man.
I love the midsections he does as well on the women. He does a great midsection. Where he
draws a fantastic female form.
Oh yeah, he does, because it's hyper realistic to me. The waist is not too thin. It's basically, I don't know how to put it. How he does the muscle tone on the stomach and everything. I mean, he elongates the legs well. That's a great foot there at the bottom. I hate feet just in general, but that's a great foot, a great calf. He doesn't do the thing where the calf and the thigh connect and it's like one. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I
know you've seen it.
Oh yeah.
He does the good line under the bum to show that, you know, she has great curves.
Yeah.
But the midsection, it's not too narrow. You're not getting a super thin waist. Like, do you get what I'm saying? Like, we see it a lot. It's just perfectly indented, very natural, like a natural soft curve. It's gorgeous.
Yeah, because I will tell you, I mean, it's not the easiest thing in the world to get a good waist on a woman, you know, unless you've drawn women a million times, which a lot of these artists have. But when you're drawing the female body, it's hard. The waist is hard because it could come off looking too skinny. It could come off looking too big. And if it looks too big, it's going to look kind of masculine, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. There's a fine line. Like, all right, let me pause that. The upper shot, even though I know she's in a dress, her legs are fantastic.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that in a sexual way, guys. I'm just saying, like, the way they're drawn, the legs are fantastic down to the foot and the high heel. I mean, you want to talk about like fashion, just style right there.
No, that's great legs.
That's great. Great done.
The proportioning is so great with that ankle, the knee to ankle areas. It's hyper realistic. And then look at her waist there as well. So to me, we are seeing a lean, muscular woman with soft curves, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
You know, she's not like that super skinny and has an ass and boobs. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I do love seeing artwork like this. It's very different than, you know, if you took a look at like how J. Scott Campbell does woman, or
Michael Turner.
You know, they did very, very thin waist and stuff.
Which were fantastic.
It does look fantastic. I'm not denying that it doesn't, but I'm saying it's nice to see this. I like to see this. To me,
we got Jasper saying your boy says every unnecessary line that gets added to a woman's face ages her. Yeah, and that's to me that's just a known thing, and I see a lot of young artists do that though, because they haven't really figured out how to draw pretty, you know, because it's not just like learning how to get the eye placement in the nose and lips and everything. Like, you still have to be able to draw the female face and make it look pretty. You know, you have to know the ability to do that. And the more lines you add are absolutely going to risk pushing that in the wrong direction.
Speaking of that, that's why I do my face mask, because I don't want unnecessary lines that are going to age
there
me.
You go.
I'm just saying.
There you go.
I'm just saying.
Jasper says
Botox.
So the story is great. I love how they aged her up for more modern times.
Wow. Oh my God. That is so beautiful. And the hair. Look at the movement in the hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I could feel like the wind blowing behind her and she's ready.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, it's great.
So
I agree, Jasper. I was kind of iffy at first when I heard he was aging her up, but I really like how he's utilizing the character, utilizing her daughter in this as well. Yeah. Yep, this is a book I'll always back.
I think you can age a character up.
Here we go. This is what I'm talking about.
Within the story, that is so sick.
Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about when he calls the spirits of the ghosts of all these warriors and the way they were drawn in the rough cut. And I missed out on the pure line edition that Leandro was talking about for this one. So I would have liked to have seen the actual finished line work for this. But in the rough cut, you can at least see where it's all transparent because they have to show through things because they're spirits. And the colors having that green tone because you got so much red on the page with their costumes and everything. It really just pops those panels out there. That looks beautiful.
I like the green better than people usually do, like a purple or a blue when they do Ghost.
Yeah. Jasper said, "Did you not read Way of the Warriors?" No, I did. That's what I was saying. Yeah, blue pencils, very few strokes. I've never gotten into using the blue pencil. For some reason, I don't know why. I see Ethan use it, and it makes me wonder, but the way he draws is just next level with very light underdrawing. It just goes into ink stuff, but I have seen people use blue pencil, red pencil.
Red. I've seen a red a lot. More than blue.
Seen the red happen. Recommend this.
Purples. Woo, sorry.
Yeah, again, love purples in comics. Purple is really, I mean, it's a utilize a color the colorists need to utilize more often. It just looks great. Hail, Phil.
Hey,
good to
Phil.
see you. Yeah, I'm sure most of the chat has this book, but if you guys haven't, if you're new to the channel, you're just new to this in general, go check it out. Follow Billy Tucci. He's always got campaigns going. I know the next SHI is going to be probably launching some point this year. I think the second omnibus is launching sometime this year, I think. And just really get your hands on these because this is great work. This is the work of his career. I mean, I think he's drawing the best of his career right now, which is always awesome to say about an artist.
I feel like we need to take a look at his Sergeant Rock stuff.
I need to get some. I don't have any of his Sergeant Rock stuff. It actually, that stuff happened in a time when I wasn't collecting comics anymore. And so I didn't even know it existed until actually a couple years ago. But yeah, look at that face. Look at the body as she's walking. I mean, what I'm going to say here is meant as a high compliment. That pose, her walking, that's like Silvestri level awesomeness. I'll go back here.
It's Tucci level awesomeness.
It's Tucci level awesomeness, but it's like it's up there with Silvestri when you talk about a woman in motion. Because I think Silvestri is probably the best at that, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's just gorgeous. The colors that were used.
I was just gonna say, I love the like I said, I love the color palette for the entire book. Just everything looks great. Ugh, man. Knocking it out of the park, man. Billy's just killing it. Yeah, there you go, past my stand. You can follow Billy Tucci here, YouTube. He's got his own channel. And
see the stomach? Great stomach.
Yeah, you can see on there. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, the cover's great too. Love the color palette on the cover. Green-eyed Asian is very rare.
I learned that Big Trouble from Big Trouble in Little China. I almost forgot what I was saying for a second.
Yeah, Big Trouble in Little China. I think that's
Big Trouble.
That's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
So that's it. That is the Billy Tucci rough cut SHI Haikido.
I'm just gonna keep letting you butcher it.
I'm not. I KO. I can't. I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get it. It's gonna be horrible.
Oh yes, the past master Dan. He also does have Pop XP with Niall Scala. And I just want to say, if you go to a Comic-Con and Billy Tucci is there at a Comic-Con, go up and interact with him. You will not regret it. He's genuinely just such a nice human being.
Yeah. The first time I ever met, well, the only time I ever met Billy, and hopefully not the last, was in Chicago, like 2006, 2005, something like that. One of the conventions I went to back then. And I walked right up to his table and he talked to me. I was shocked, like actually like engaged in talking and having a conversation. And I'm just a young shit at the time. You know, I mean, early 20s, but, you know, I'm just asking him all the stupid shit. Like, oh man, I remember
but he'll
answer.
Blah, blah, blah.
But he was a cool dude.
So nice. Know? He's very entertaining and very charismatic, and he will talk to you. You know, he'll definitely talk to you. He's not one of the artists that is like, you know, like, oh, say a couple things and be on your way. He'll sit there and have a conversation with you, you know.
That's what I remember, just of how cool he was. I bought 2 prints while I was there. One of the prints is hanging up. You guys can't see it, but it's hanging up back there. One of my favorites. And the first time that Sean and I ever had him on Ott and stuff, he was just the coolest dude. You know, I reached out to him. I was like, hey, we'd love to have you on. He was like, let's do it. And he jumped on. We had a great conversation. We've had him on a few times. I got to get him back on because he's a fun guy to talk to. By the way, guys, next Thursday, the 19th, Ott and Stuff is returning. Sean is coming back for the first show in forever. We are debuting Ott and Stuff on this channel. It's going to be live on this channel Thursdays at 8 p.m. And then we'll upload the show on the actual Ott and Stuff channel after that. But yeah, it's returning on this channel. Sean is coming back next Thursday at 8 p.m. Everybody, be here for that. It's going to be really cool. It'll be really cool. The Professionals, yeah. We got 6 a.m. comics in the house. Haley, you brother. Good to see you. Good to see you. All right. Yeah, that's a good time, man. It's a good time. It's almost 11. This is working out good. Working out good. We're going to do our second stream. Let me mute that.
Wait, that sounds like, why do they always put porn music on?
I don't know.
Art? I'm just trying to figure out why it sounds like that.
Yes, it is great news, man. I'm so excited to get Sean back. So our first show back is just we're not gonna have any guests. We're just gonna have some friends on and just chill a little bit. Sean just wants to kind of come on and get back into it, but we're gonna be going full blown out and stuff returning on this channel, and it's about time. I'm excited. We got Bobby in the house. Hail,
Bobby.
Hail, Kayla. Yeah.
I feel like it's like the Adrienne Rocky voice in case.
Yeah.
You know,
I could hear that. So on last week's show, guys, we went over Jorge Jimenez, and we actually looked at one of his art or one of his drawings he did on YouTube, and the chat liked it so much it was like, let's do another one. So this is a sketch of Marc Silvestri's doing of Wolverine. At I keep forgetting the actual year, but I thought this would be pretty fun just to watch him kind of form everything out and draw it. Again, this is a sketch.
There's something interesting with his pencil, how he's penciling. Do you see how he holds the pen? He holds the pencil.
Yeah, I actually just noticed that
he holds it like
this. Charles.
I don't know if it's to keep the lines for. And right there, he's doing looser.
Yeah, I don't.
But when he's doing this, that looks like a technique to make a firmer line.
I have no idea why he does it. All I know is I can't do it.
My finger. Hold on.
I can't do it. I've tried it. I don't have the accuracy with what he's doing here when it's held like that. But yeah, it's really cool to watch him sketch because he just everything about the drawing is loose. His grip seems loose. Just seems now that I'm thinking about it, it could just be a technique to keep the energy going, to keep the flow going. Marc is one of those
more. It makes something firmer. I just played around. Like if you play around, like me, I'm always playing around with stuff. So if you put your finger like that, like how he's holding it, it makes a tighter line. Believe it or not, you can tell where he's going looser because of how he's gripping the pencil. There, that's looser.
Interesting. Well, I was going to say that on the. Fuck, forgot what I was going to say.
Sorry, I cut you off. I was being rude.
No, it's good. I was holding on to it and I lost it. It
will come back to you.
It'll come back to me. That's what it was. One of the techniques that I love that Marc does, he always keeps his pencil moving. Mm-hmm. Even if you see him kind of bounce around, he doesn't really do anything in a certain spot. He's just keeping the flow and the energy of the drawing going, so it doesn't really have time to pause and think too much. And I think that's why you see so much energy, and even stuff like this, which is just kind of a standard pose, but he's constantly going back and forth. Try it when you draw sometime. There's a freedom to it when you're doing that kind of style or that kind of technique of doing under drawings like that, where you just kind of keep the pencil going. I mean, obviously it's not the entire time you're doing it, but as you're flowing, you keep that pencil going.
And when he does lift the pencil, he's lifting it for a shape. Like he moves. How can I put this? Like
Hail, Steven.
He moves with the shape. And I just caught him like he's looking at his own hand for reference right there.
Yep.
I love that.
That's what's cool about this particular video. If you've ever seen his studio, you hear him talk about it. He actually has a mirror on his drawing table, and he will do hand poses when he's trying to do certain or facial expressions. He does all that like right there in the mirror on his drawing table as he's drawing.
That's very interesting. Sorry, my internet just went down to like one bar, so I took myself off camera for a second until it goes back up to at least 3.
Also got Noah in the house. Hell no. He does draw like a top G. Yes. We got El Guapo in the house as well. Hail the chat. Hail to you, brother. Good to see you. Steven had said that John Livesey. Livesey. Also holds his.
It might be Livesey.
It could be similar to that. I will be honest with you. I'm not familiar with who that is. Sorry to disappoint you guys. I don't know everything. I'm sorry. Wish I did. Noah is a superstar, but just don't let it go to his head. I'd rather watch Bancroft copy and paste tiny cars. Go do it, man. Catch the replay.
Well, I was gonna say something.
What were you gonna say?
He did a bunch of things for Marvel. John Livesey, like he did Young Avengers.
That's probably why I don't.
He did
like what year? Current year or
more current stuff, I would say, or more in the more recent years. I would want to say, although he did something in the X Factor realm.
That's probably why I have no idea who he is. It's been a long time since I paid attention to Marvel.
Which I think it was actually well, I know they republished it in last year. I want to say I don't know when it was originally from. What I think he was. I know they republished it into an omnibus last year because I saw it in the shop. So
interesting, and by interesting I mean not interesting.
Well, I think it actually collected like X Factor stuff from the 80s until like 91. To be honest,
see, I'd be down with that. That was the last time, like the 90s were the last time I was really paying attention to Marvel heavily. But like current day X-Men or X-Men within the last 10 years is not, or the X Office, the X books or whatever, has not piqued my interest, with the exception of the times of Silvestri or Brett Booth. Or
you probably are aware of who he is because he's done a bunch of covers. He's a penciler and he's an inker. You probably are aware who he is, but like aware of his art actually, but don't know who it was by. I can guarantee you he's one of those names. Like
I'm sure if I saw his art, I would recognize it and be like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Okay.
He does have a very positive Twitter feed.
That's good. That's good. We got Salmon in the house. Hello, everyone. Hello, too. Good to see you. We are EFAPing a Marc Silvestri sketch he did at San Diego Comic-Con, I think, a few years back. This is I was just really always impressed with this from beginning to end. Now, this isn't ink. This is just pencils. But the pose that he does with Wolverine is pretty cool, and like the upper shot of the face, like I don't know how much this costs. I know that a remark for me when I saw him last year was $250, so I got to imagine this is a fairly expensive sketch.
500 to 800.
I was just going to say probably 500. Yeah.
Range.
So I mean, he's definitely putting some more into it, but that's an impressive facial expression. I like it.
I love how he goes over his pencils. Like he did all his pencils right lightly, and now he's going over them and darkening them up. But I like how he's doing it though. I don't even know exactly. I don't even know how to describe exactly what it is that he's doing, but he's adding like more depth, like you would when you're inking with a pencil.
Yeah, well, it's line weight. It's adding like line weights and stuff to what he's doing.
Usually something an inker would.
Not necessarily. I mean, yes, it's usually something the inker would do, but most artists do it as well. And it's kind of knowing how to do line weights is definitely important for an artist to do, even though an inker can come in and absolutely add that to the art, in a better way sometimes if you don't know exactly what you're doing. But yeah, I mean, line weights add depth,
It's just I don't think I've seen any artists really do that, to be honest, like with a pencil over,
Really? Oh, well, I've seen a ton of them, I guess. I guess if you were looking next time we bring up some unwrapped stuff, just penciled versions of books by artists, I'll point out some. Maybe it's because you're actually watching them do it.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's
you're actually seeing them do it. Yeah. Okay, yep, I get you.
I can't stop watching when people draw. I get very hypnotized by it. That's why my brain stops.
Me too.
I'm right now. I'm in a trance. So.
No, I hear you. I do the same thing. I mean, it's a lot of people. Maybe it's more because I'm an artist, but some people don't like the drawing streams or watching somebody draw. I find it absolutely fascinating because you're watching somebody's imagination play out in real time, because what they're thinking is hitting the lines as they're thinking it, and you get to experience it at that moment. And to me, that's incredible. The imaginations that comic book creators, artists have to have when they're putting this stuff down, to me, it's fascinating, Hail, Rob. Good to see you, brother. Mark your calendar next time, man. Come on. You got Art Huffles in the house. Hail, brother. Good to see you. One thing tons of things I love about Silvestri's work, but
he's constantly moving. It's not just the pencil, it's the paper too. He's moving everything.
Oh, yeah. Which, I mean, a lot of artists will move the paper around, especially because, I mean, if you don't have to move your wrists around, that's perfect. If you can always kind of keep your wrists at a certain spot and then you move the page, it's a lot easier when you're drawing. But yeah, he's just, I mean, you're looking at a master draw. That's a guy's been drawing for 40 years now or so. He knows exactly what he's doing, and it's just done with ease. And that's the thing that just amazes me. Like when he was doing the remark, and again, it's just a remark, just a quick sketch on the poster I did, but just watching him do exactly what he wanted to do. Every line had a purpose. To be on his level would be a dream come true.
I forget who it was this week, but they saw Art Adams at a con, and he asked Art Adams to draw a stick figure so he could put it in his comic, and Art Adams did. He literally drew him a stick figure, but it wasn't like he didn't draw it like a stick figure like we would think. He literally drew a stick and made it a figure with arms and legs.
Oh, nice.
I'm like, that is so awesome. I'm like, so if I go to a con and I see Art Adams and I say, can you do a little sketch so I can say you drew in my book, you would? What the fuck? Like, why have I not tried this and just saved it when I have something else?
John says, is this a live Twitch stream that Silvestri is doing? No, this is actually, you can find this on YouTube, this video porn. On YouTube.
This is porn right now, guys.
Yeah, art porn is what's going on right now. Yeah. No, you can find this video on YouTube. This is I think from 2015, something like that, maybe even farther back. I can't remember. But a lot of people seem to dig watching these artists that we talk about all the time on this channel do some sketching, do some drawing. So I wanted to bring that more to you guys. And there's some fantastic sketch videos out there with some of these guys, and watching them draw, watching the process play out live as we are right now, I think is incredibly fascinating for comic books. If you want to be artists, or you are an artist, whatever skill set you might be, watching someone draw can help so much. And it's just like Kayla said, it's hypnotizing. It's very entertaining. I get a hell of a kick out of it. We got Dennis in the house. He says, "Hey Joe, Kayla in the chat, what's happening?"
Porn.
Watching porn. Yes, watching art porn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, everybody go tell everybody what we're doing today. I love the subtle cross hatching and rendering he does within this sketch. Now, the cool thing about this sketch is that it's very loose, so it keeps this crazy energy. Like, this thing will probably never be inked unless the owner of the sketch, commissions somebody else to ink it. So he has the ability to draw this thing loose, keep the energy, but it's still so damn dynamic. And this is, I mean, the way he finishes it, this is a ready for inked piece. I mean, an inker could absolutely go in with everything he puts into this drawing and bring it out the way it should be.
I would want like him to do 2 different pieces for me. I would think, I'd want him to do one where I keep it in pencils, and then another one, go and find just like an inker that I really love and have them ink over him.
I've seen people do that before at cons, where they'll go get like a sketch from Jim Lee, and then they'll go get Scott Williams to ink that sketch or whatever, if you had the money, that'd be fantastic, wouldn't it, to have like Silvestri ink something or draw something, and if you got like Bat or Weems at the, or any guy any inker you respect, and just take it to them and have them ink it right there, that'd be great. We got Roy in the house. Hey,
told you.
The crotch is very important, everybody. Don't neglect the crotch. It's very important. We got luxurious mindset. I've been creep watching. Nice to meet everyone. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Thank you for jumping in the chat. Glad you're here.
Let's see. I had a couple questions, it looks like.
Oh, go for it.
All right. Do you want to say that first?
Yeah. So John asks, I knew about Silvestri, but I've never seen his work. I just bought his Batman Deadly Duo #3, and I really like or dig his style. Oh, dude, yeah. Jump into his career, man, because he's had some fantastic work. He's my favorite artist. Him and Dale Keown are my number 1 and 1A. I mean, those guys are the biggest influences on me, but Silvestri has been a huge influence on me.
Oh my God, you have to look at his X-Men run. Definitely. That is a must.
Hail, Jamie.
Let's see. Okay, so
all right, go for it.
Gordo asked if I saw our Adam's Battle Damage Vader profile on Instagram. Yes, I did see it. That's the one he did at New York Comic Con 2022. It is amazing, all the detail that he put into the face. And then Jasper Plan 9 just asked me, are back issues selling for low across the board? I bought a 9.6 Miller Daredevil for $34. Wow. Did you get it graded and it came back a 9.6?
I think he bought it already. I think he bought it already graded.
That's interesting. Was it CBCS or was it CGC?
Yeah, it's crazy that it's that low.
I'm trying to figure out why it was 34. That's interesting. I know there are times when back issues are lower and then they go up, like everything else that is a collectible. I know some of the books I know some keys are down in price right now. So it just depends on the keys you're looking for.
Bordeaux, drop your link in the chat. That's why I modded you. You're modded, right? Yeah, you're modded. Drop your link in the chat so everybody knows what your YouTube channel is, and I'll pop it up here. Everybody check it out. All right, go ahead.
Let's see.
Oh, while you're looking for another question, I wanted to bring up the fact that Silvestri draws everybody very good looking. unless it's a character that has to absolutely be ugly. But he draws very good looking people. The most handsome Wolverine you're ever going to see is drawn by Silvestri.
Yes,
but it looks great. All I have to say is, I mean, that the face that he's drawing right now is fantastic. And he's got a little bit more of the movie X-Men hairstyle, which kind of took over after the X-Men movie. They really pulled back on Wolverine's hairstyle.
Look at that sexy Wolverine.
Look at that.
Buns of steel.
Look at that ass. Right there. He works out.
Look at the face. That is a handsome Wolverine. And then actually what he did, I have a Wolverine Witchblade around here too. Where is it? That's Michael Turner's cover. I just have a pile of random Silvestri stuff here. Don't ask.
Roy said Silvestri is a combo of my two favorite artists, John Buscema and Bernie Wrightson. Yeah.
The Witchblade Wolverine cover he did. It's gorgeous.
Yeah. It's really good.
That's
Hell, Lewis said this Wolverine is looking insane. It is. There's nothing wrong with good-looking people in comics, everybody.
But then he can also do like the gritty stuff. That's why I always think people should go back and look at his run on X-Men. You can see how he grew as an artist, but that's.
Oh yeah, the Brood issue. Yeah.
And he did the interiors in this as well. I want to say too. So.
Jasper said, "No, I hate slabs. I just wanted it because there were no good condition raw copies."
So wait, how do you know it's an? Oh, it's a PGX slab.
Oh, it's a PGX. Okay. Yeah, okay.
So PGX is the one that sells the cheapest. So you will always get them cheaper. Always. I don't know why. I think it's because PGX is they're newer right now to the comic game. But that book probably, if it was, depending on what issue it is of Daredevil that you got, it's probably worth more. So
yeah, this is Marc Silvestri, guys, but Turner was fantastic.
Yes, Turner was.
Unfortunately, there's very few videos I've found of Turner drawing, and trust me, I've looked. So if anybody can find a good video of Turner drawing out there, I would absolutely love to see it because I have not found many.
I will find one. You know why? I'm a woman, and I posted a picture on New Year's, and I was in the blazer, and someone said, "What, are you off to be a detective?" And I was like, "I'm a woman. I am a detective." I will find a Michael Turner drawing video.
There you
I will
go.
find one. Give me like 2 days. Not even. Give me like right after the stream. I'll find one.
Luxurious Mindset said, "I'm new to the American comic side of things from manga. I found your channel. It seems interesting." Well, thank you. I hope you stick around. We look at a lot of awesome art, a lot of awesome comics on this channel, mostly from the era that I was influenced with, which was mainly 90s, but also modern comics as well. The channel is just basically a glorified way for me to look at all my favorite artists and then discover some new ones. Like I got into Jorge Jimenez, however you pronounce his last name, last week.
You're right.
Yeah, he's probably the modern day artist that I like the most from guys I started following in the 90s. Look at those neck muscles. Yes. That shows love neck muscles. I even love the outrageous neck muscles of the Rob Liefeld 90s. Because that's comics, everybody.
I was going to make a fresh comment, but I don't want to because it's Silvestri's work.
You're going to make a what?
I was going to make a fresh comment, but I don't want to because it's Silvestri's work.
Do it.
I was going to say, I'm in a fresh mood today. I'm sorry. I was going to say Silvestri's the reason why people want Wolverine gay.
Could be. Could be.
I'm sorry.
Didn't Joe say exits or exists? Exists. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. All right.
If so, Kayla gonna find a 4K HD. Yeah, she probably will. I hope she does. I'm gonna put her up to the challenge. Any recommendations for modern comics? Depends, I guess. If you're just looking if you're coming over from manga to modern.
We live.
I don't know about modern. But I mean, there's a ton of stuff from the last 30 years, stuff you could go back to really get into. Kayla, if you were starting out recommending somebody that was getting new into, let's say, the Western style of the American comics, what would you say? You probably know better than me because I just pull out a bunch.
You read manga first?
I think they read manga first.
What are the genres you like to read? Sorry, my internet's low again. That's why I'm off.
Oh, you're fine. I don't know why I said she. Why did I just automatically assume? Luxurious Mindset said, oh, where do you go back? Yeah, she said, do it again. I'm new to the American comics side things from manga. So
you know what? I think you would enjoy We Live. It's actually one of the probably the greatest comic that came out in the past couple years that isn't anything that it's not Marvel, it's not DC. It starts off one way, it's apocalyptic. It kind of has like an animated style to it that gets a little bit more realistic, but then ends up very dynamic. It has a surprise twist at the end. It is a superhero comic book. It is a comic book that should be more appreciated. Not enough people have read it. It is great. So I highly recommend it. If you like edgy, gritty stuff.
Yeah, edgy, gritty. Edgy, gritty. Can't talk.
What is your definition of like edgy, gritty?
Right.
Like, what do you read in manga-wise? Titles that I might know. I mean,
yeah, because Kayla's actually going to know some manga stuff. I'm not really that knowledgeable on manga. Stray Dogs.
That is definitely edgy, gritty.
But yeah, there's a lot of good suggestions by the chat too. Arc says John Byrne's Superman.
I don't think John Byrne's Superman is definitely
go indie.
I'd recommend X-Men titles for edgy gritty over that.
Well, this was before edgy gritty. I was just saying some of the
Bordeaux, Blade of the Immortal, and Berserk are mangas. So
yeah. The Boys is edgy. Invincible is good. Yeah, those are very
probably
violent.
Anything by Garth Ennis would be edgy and gritty. A lot of Frank Miller stuff as well.
Yeah, use a lot of Frank stuff.
Actually, a lot of people. Jasper Plan 9 just said something that Rick Remender's Deadly Class. A lot of people that do read manga do enjoy Deadly Class.
Interesting. Anything Ed Brubaker? You said like 80s manga. Was ultra violent and dark. All right, so you do like the ultra violent and dark stuff.
Okay,
I mean, so Invincible would be violent as shit. Invincible would be.
Invincible, The Walking Dead too would be considered.
Oh, Walking Dead, if you like zombie stuff, yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Image is probably your go-to. You want to look at Image, any of the Image. You might even like Monstrous too. Monstrous is really good Image title, and it definitely has that manga-ish style. It's like steampunk American style manga, I would call it.
Obviously, I'm not going to read anything that insists I read backwards. I'm good.
Any X-Men I would recommend. Any X-Men that Chris Claremont works. So yes, that would be John Byrne's X-Men for sure.
I mean, I would always recommend Pitt to anybody. Absolutely.
Darkness
would be very violent. Yep, that's definitely Spawn.
Spawn definitely. Gunslinger Spawn right now is super cool, and King Spawn is pretty good as well.
Yeah. Oh, Zay Comics says check out Reaper Destroyer too. Yeah. Check out Reaper Destroyer as well. This is a very dark, gritty book currently in the works. That is my book currently in the works. Darkness 90s.
Probably more 90s. You probably want to look at more 90s stuff if you want more edgy gritty. Definitely, I would say Frank Miller's Elektra Daredevil book there. Edgy and gritty, I would say.
What's that? Reaper Destroyer. There's a link if you want to check out some of the art. You can follow that.
Bordeaux. I wouldn't even recommend.
I'll show you at the end.
Toilet paper.
Oh, really?
I wouldn't even. He says toilet paper or fireplace kindling. I wouldn't even use it for either or. I wouldn't even touch it. It's like I wouldn't touch it with another person's hands. That's how bad it is. Ooh, Lapras is really good too. Yeah.
Getting back to the drawing real quick. I mean, if you have been paying attention, you look away for a little bit, then look back, you can really see like how it's just all coming together. And this is just loose, you know, like it's not heavy lead, it's not a sharp lead. It's still a very dull lead that he's doing this with, which is impressive to me. And he's almost finished here. I mean, I would definitely pay $500 to $800 for that sketch. 100%.
I like how he's looking at it in his phone while he's doing. That's interesting.
Hail, Marco. Yeah, I was kind of like, is obviously a previous picture he took of it. Oh, that's cool.
He's looking at his phone to see what he can adjust, because how it's visually going to look to another person's eye. That's what I think that is.
Well, you know, you can do that. You can take a picture of your art and then you can flip it horizontal, or you can flip it whatever 180 would that
backwards.
Be, or 360? Yeah, backward. You can flip it backwards, and if it doesn't look right in the other direction, then you know that you're not drawing it correct. So you can make adjustments. So that, I mean, theoretically, you should be able to take a picture and flip it backwards, and it still looks fine. That's when you know you've drawn everything correctly. And it can be aggravating sometimes. I've done it before too, where I'm just like really happy with what I'm drawing, and then just for shits and giggles, I'll take a picture of it and I'll flip it, and then I'll notice something is off or it doesn't quite look right. It's the most aggravating thing in the world. But when you do it and it looks perfect still, I mean, it's a hell of a satisfying feeling. So there's the overall sketch right there. Just awesomely done. I would have loved to have seen this inked or seen him ink it. I know he does a lot of work out there where he inks his own stuff when he's doing these kind of sketches. But this was just that's great.
Oh, may I just add crossed? No one said crossed, and that is definitely dark and gritty.
Good point, Henry Venus. Yeah, hold on a second. I was going to comment there because I have not heard of that character, that book, but I just saw this comment. This is a great point. Is he using a cheap mechanical pencil? That's amazing. He is. That's like one of those fucking mechanical pencils you get like at the dollar store, right? That he's using, and that's what it looks like. But again, it's the artist, not the equipment, you know. And that just shows anybody right there, if they complain about the tools that they may or may not have, you can just be like, you know. I just watched a video of Marc Silvestri did this badass sketch on a fucking dollar store mechanical pencil.
He's that good.
He is that good. Absolutely.
He's that good. Oh, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac too. It's done by the guy that did Invader Zim. That is actually pretty dark and gritty, believe it or not.
So I've not heard of any of those.
It's stuff you would probably walk by. Besides We Live, I feel like I'm going to send you We Live, at least the second arc of it, because it's a superhero book that is kind of rebooting superheroes in a shop, but no one pays attention to the book because it's not a Marvel or a DC book.
Well, you know me. I mean,
it's fucking phenomenal.
It more or less it's the art when it comes to me. So like I'm always the bad example for somebody to recommend a good comic, because I judge comics on art, not characters or stories. So that's why I was leaning to you to answer a little bit more of that question.
Nailbiter is another one too. I'm just thinking now I get tired. I'm like thinking of what's in the shop as I eat my cheese that's here off cam, which I have some internet up again. Nailbiter is another one I would recommend. Nailbiter's good.
Luxurious says, I like Invader Zim. If you know what that is.
You'll love Johnny the Homicidal Maniac.
Jasper said, I haven't read a new hero book in ages. Yeah, I feel like they don't really.
Why We Live. I'm telling you, everyone has walked by this.
Me too,
book. And at first, when I opened it up, I thought it was like kid-like. Because the premise is like it starts off like a TV announcement and it's real cartoony and the colors in it. But then as the book goes on, the the artist remains the same, but the art style, it grows with the book. The art style is incredible. The creature designs in it. It's an apocalyptic setting. Basically, I don't want to spoil it. And then the second arc, they end it one way, and you're like, what the fuck? And then the second arc begins, and then it's just like superhero, sci-fi, apocalyptic action. It's great. So...
Zaid Comics says, Kayla, just tell him to buy the Lost Pages. Go buy the Lost Pages.
Buy the Lost Pages.
Go get the people. Go get Grimstone. Go get freaking the silhouette.
Definitely. The silhouette. Crimstone is going to be amazing.
Yeah, Crimstone looks awesome. That's gonna be badass. Everything the Zaid brothers are doing right now, you guys are just clicking on all cylinders. Definitely. Are you a mod, Phil? Yeah, you're a mod. Drop links, Phil. Drop some links in here.
Just did. Sorry.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, you got the Lost Pages 3 right there. Go check that out.
I would say
if you like good old swimsuit editions.
If you want dark and gritty, you should pull up your book and they should take a look at your book, because your book is kind of dark and gritty. Just saying.
That's what yeah, Phil had said that too. All right, here I'll pull it up. So Reaper Destroyer is my book. It is kind of dark and gritty, I guess. I guess I haven't really thought about it that way, but when you think about it, it is. It's good old 90s, old school, dark, violent. We got demons, monsters. It's funny? My original writer that I brought on this project before I had to let him go, and I ended up hooking up with Marc Polton. When I was going over the character and kind of the story when it comes to the main character fighting with being possessed by a demon and trapped inside this supernatural suit of armor, the way that I was kind of describing my story to him, because he was into manga, he was like, this kind of it feels like a manga story as far as like how you're developing the character, which I thought was pretty interesting because I've never read manga before. But maybe it is something that might appeal to somebody that has read manga before.
Yeah. Can I explain something? The difference between a manga reader and a comic book reader, especially Luxurious Mindset asks if like modern comics are that bad. I would say yes. I read most of the modern, I rarely read anything now in the shop. It makes me very sad. I mean, I come from working a shop for 11 years, and I have watched comics change so drastically to now they're preaching at you, and it has taken away like the fantasy aspect, the escapism, when they change things in a way that it's not genuine. Now, when you read a manga, everything is what it is. Do you know what I'm saying? They have a category for everything. So you can find something. When I read Dragon Ball, I don't have to worry about if when Goku dies, they're going to make Chi-Chi super powerful and become the main character. Stuff like that. You don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. I mean, with the modern comics, they're basically preaching at you, which it's done bad. They do things without having a genuine purpose. So it's changing a character so drastically, not creating new characters, not wanting to invest in new characters, passing characters down like they're a mantle when they're not a mantle. I could go on forever and talk about just how bad. Yes, preaching,
disrespecting characters,
preaching at you. It basically,
legacy.
Yes, there's a lot. People that are writing the books do not have any awareness of characters that they're writing either. So they're basically writing themselves, self-inserting themselves into a character. It's like me. I love Jean Grey. That's my favorite comic book character. So I have the opportunity to write Jean Grey, but she's no longer going to be a redhead anymore. She's going to have dark hair like me. And she's going to be half Armenian because I'm half Armenian,
And politically, she's going to believe exactly how you believe the world is.
She's going to, her background story is going to change up. It's going to be more like my life because, that's how the character should be.
Right.
So the Pregnant Joker, I will say, because I read it, someone brought it into the shop. It's not the main story in that book. They were marketing it that way for whatever reason, probably to cause outrage or for the group of people they wanted to attract to it.
Daily.
I don't know how to explain it, but what they're not explaining to you about it is Zatanna did magic to him, and he ends up puking up he doesn't give, it's like a muddy version of himself, like it's like a throw up version of himself, and you don't know if it's really a dream sequence or it's actually happening because of Zatanna's magic, kind of, from what I read from it. I don't know how to explain it, but that wasn't.
I was waiting for you.
It was like at the end. So not that it was great.
I haven't really talked to you about that, so I was waiting to see what your opinion was. Yeah,
I mean, here's my thing: if it was the whole main book and how they were marketing it was not what it was, so
right,
was it something that should be in? I mean, I've never seen someone get a gynecological exam in a comic book. I don't think it has a place for a comic book. To be honest, you wouldn't do it with a female character, so that was a little odd for me.
It was very cringe. And I think that's why they did it.
I feel like the person was trying to. There were a lot of weird shit done in the 60s and 50s, and with comic books. There was a lot of weird shit done with comic books. I feel like they were trying to do a take on that, but it's because of the times that we are living in, how they were trying to promote it and how they were trying to market it. And I don't know exactly even what I'm saying right now. Was it the worst thing in the world that I've read? No. There's like, read the X-Men, the current X-Men shit. That is like the most atrocious shit in the world to me. And I am a longtime X-Men fan. I had to stop reading during House of X. It was so bad. And people want to praise Hickman's work. It's horrible. That was a mistake. Asinine. I'm sorry.
I agree with Khan's comment. Quick stop here. Stay with CG and old image, and it will be good. Darth Diggler said Nocturna was one of the few new series I really enjoyed reading. I started reading that.
Nocturna's great.
Yeah, for some reason I didn't keep up with it. Not quite sure.
Nocturna is actually phenomenal, I will say. There's another one too. Why can't I think
Hail
of
the
it?
Green Laser.
Blue Radiant Black is pretty good too.
The Green Laser asked if Nick Spencer's run on Spider-Man is any good, and I'll say this again for anybody that knows. For me,
I haven't read it.
I can't answer that because I don't read modern Marvel comics anymore. I barely read anything DC unless Silvestri or Capullo or Booth are doing things. I'm mainly I read independent books, or we read older books. So the new stuff is just, I mean, I've been divorced of the newer comics for a while now because they've shifted so far from what comic books are or should be. I mean, Kayla, basically, I'm not going to repeat what she just said because she basically said it all in her rant right there. It was very well said about the modern comics. Luxurious Mindset said, what's CG Comics? Well, if you've never heard of CG, it's not really a comic book company. It's more of a fan movement, a movement in general, a comic movement in general that involves fans and creators. And basically, we're making comic books that the mainstream won't make anymore because of narratives or political motivations. We're trying to get back to the old school way, telling good stories with fun characters, with good art, well produced, and making comic books for everybody. We are really the true people making comic books for everybody. True escapism, like it was when we were all growing up, and that's also like it is probably with manga for everything I'm hearing from people that read manga. That's what that Comicsgate's. If you get a book from a Comicsgate creators, you're going to get something like that.
Manga outsells comics in the shops. I never thought I would ever see that a day in my life. But what the one thing manga has is they stick with how they write their characters. They're not going to change their character up for a fad or to please one person. And someone is not going to go against what the storyline is. And they don't do escapism. They have, like, if you want a political manga, they have a political manga for you. If you want your LGBTQ stuff, they have a manga specifically for that. If you want your action mangas, they have manga for that. You want a manga about ice skating, you want that, you want whatever they have. You want a manga about cooking and it has recipes in it, they have
interesting.
They do. They have everything. You want your high fantasy, you want your sci-fi fantasy. I mean, manga literally and they stick to whatever it is. You want your horror manga, you're not going to see Junji Ito doing anything else other than he did a book about his cat, and he made it kind of funny and creepy. So, I mean, they stick to what it is. They don't change anything for
what I was going to say about what I was going to say about manga, like they don't do reboots, right? Like you have Marvel and DC doing their reboots every like 10 years. They reboot the entire. I heard that they don't.
They tried to reboot. I think it was Saint Seiya.
Ooh, smut.
Saint Seiya I'm thinking of. Yeah, manga definitely has smut stuff too. They have all that. They have hentai, and they even have more than that. They have everything. I mean, tentacles. For me, my favorite manga of all time, it's Claymore. And Jay Lee will agree with me on how awesome Claymore is, but that's because I love fantasy. So
interesting. I want to like manga. Not that I don't like it, but I don't have enough time to get into anything new. Like right now, it's the stuff I'm doing, the stuff I'm working on, back bins, and the stuff CG's got coming out, or anything that Marc Silvestri puts out. Which, by the way, guys, if you didn't see, I went to the comic book store today and I got the 3rd issue of the Batman and Joker. There is the one DD3. All right, 3rd cover. I thought that was a variant. Anyway, this is a variant cover that I was happy that they got in because they did not get the variant covers for issue 2 in. I was very upset, but this is one of my favorites.
The variant for issue 2.
I do. Yeah, I do need the variant for issue 2.
I can take a look and see if we got them in. Or if they're
because
still
I got the one from 1 and the one from 3. So yeah, we're going to be looking at this next week because we have said that on this channel we are following this Marc Silvestri Batman Joker Deadly Duo. Week after it comes out, we're going to take a look at the newest issue and just kind of talk about it and fall in love over the art porn that we will continue to look at. It's Marc Silvestri, man, but it's great. It's still one of my favorite stories, and I like how he's telling the story. People have talked about his writing before as far as like worrying about if it's going to be any good. I don't worry about it. Yeah, exactly. I would say if anyone has worries, don't worry about it. Just read this new Batman book. The story is great. The script is great. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's probably the best thing right now in the mainstream, and it's not even mainstream, honestly. This is basically Top Cow, in my opinion, taking over the Batman character.
It's the best Batman book that's been out in years. It's the best since I read the last Batman book that I thoroughly enjoyed this much was Europa. And I forget who did it, but it was called Batman Europa. It was a miniseries as well. Variants. So
variants are different version of the cover, usually by different artists, and or now you have all the what are they, Kayla? The 1.5s or whatever that the comic stores
like a 1
get.
in 25, a 1 in 50, 1 in 500, 1 in 100, 1 in 250, I believe. So they have this certain numbered variants, but you have to order so many books for a shop to get one of those. There are retail exclusive variants. There are many different variants. So it's just basically an alternate comic book cover for you to buy. Say you didn't like the art on the main book. You didn't like the main cover. It gives you an option for a different cover artist. Sometimes it's the same artist that is doing the main cover. They're doing several different covers, or it's the interior artist doing a cover, and then they bring on a bigger name artist to sell more of the book. Basic Perth Comics is right. Variants are a scam to milk whales.
I was just going to say it's a way to get extra money. Absolutely. And if you're a sucker like I am for certain artists, you're probably going to get variant covers. Like not everybody, but if Marc Silvestri is doing 2 covers an issue with this, or 3 covers, and certain, as the first issue came out, I think it had 3 different covers with the Top Cow covers. I'm going to get them, but for the most part, I don't get down on a lot of variant covers because it's just extra money.
I will buy anything with Art Adams on it.
Yeah, that's what I said. You're going to get me to buy anything with Silvestri.
He did a Storm cover. I had to buy it. He did like the punk rock Storm. I had to buy it, even though I won't even read the book because it will just make me cry.
on with the variant covers, there are different artists working on stuff. A lot of times, an artist would do a story arc here or there, but the mainstream does cycle through artists quite a bit more than I would like. A lot more than they did in the 90s. In the 90s, you'd have artists doing like 12, 24, issue plus runs, 50, 100 issues of a particular book. Now you get a artist on a book for maybe 5 issues, and they ship them off somewhere else. So indies is not like that. Indies, you're mostly going to get the creator artist and then maybe a couple variants on their campaigns.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
David Finch's
The Walking Dead
is sick, and the Art Adams ones are too. Don't forget, Dennis Kelly. Art Adams is doing Walking Dead variants.
Art Adams.
Variants drive 6 a.m. nuts. Me too. I hate when the cover art doesn't match the interiors. That is a huge problem in the mainstream comic book industry because it's very misleading. You will see this book, it has this beautiful cover, and then you open it up and the artwork looks like a middle school child did it on drugs.
Yeah. I mean, you can.
Some of the artwork is horrible on the inside. I'm sorry. It's absolutely horrible.
Yeah, it is. And you can run into that with the indies too. I mean, crowdfunding, you got to be aware of that as well if you get into the crowdfunding game, because a lot of people can go out and get fantastic cover artists on their book, and the interior art is just not going to be up to par. So it's just something to watch, but the mainstream does it too. But it's just something to watch out for. It's something I hate. Like, to me, if you're going to do a variant cover, you get an artist that's similar, if not better, slightly better quality than the actual interior, because you don't want something that's so crazy different from the cover to the interior, because it's just jarring. I mean, you're not going to sell comic books that way.
I would say never back someone's book that doesn't put up actual pages.
No, that too. Yeah.
Like, if you're going to back a person, and I don't care, this goes for me. So if you want me to back your book and I do not see interior pages from your book inside on your comic campaign, I am not going to back your book. I'm sorry.
Yep. You got to have pages up. You got to have pages. And it doesn't matter how great the cover is going to be.
Too, because
the overall look of the book if you want to attract readers or buyers, the overall look of the book has to be quality. Because if you're going to distract somebody from paying $5.99 at the comic book store for a book, or $6.99, whatever they're up to now, to go into paying $25 plus shipping for your book, you better have a book that looks as good as the book that's on the shelf, or as best you can put up there. Steven said the new Robin comic was like that. Thought a 10-year-old drew the interiors. Ugh, that sucks. I've seen some bad mainstream art.
I honestly feel like some of these bigger name companies are hiring people that want to be an artist so bad.
Because they're cheap.
They'll take a less. They're cheap. They're taking the artists because they're cheap, not because of the talent that they have. They don't want to pay someone that can actually do great work. They're just, and I hate to say it, but it's comics. Manga outsells comics. I would say 25-1.
Yeah.
The back issues is where people go to buy comics now, or the collected editions of usually comics that you can't find in back issues or that are out of print. But manga outsells comics. It does. We like it at Harrison's. They could not keep manga on their shelf when I was working there in October. They could not keep it on their shelves. It was insane. But the owner of Harrison's was smart, and he put aside so many manga volumes because he knew we were going to get hit with tourism in October. Larry's a very smart, busy businessman. So we had stuff ready for October to go, but I was filling it in because I was working that section in back issues and the New This Week wall, and I have videos. No one was touching the New This Week wall, and that's tourists from all over the world. Like, I live in Salem, Mass. You should have seen the tourists we had this year. It's insane. So.
Luxurious says, is it really that bad? I mean, it's just, I guess it depends on who you are as a reader, what you like out of comic books,
Well, I know the storyline's bad, so.
I was just going to say, there's still probably a number of people that like what they're getting, but in our opinion, if you I grew up in comics in the 90s, I was a 10-year-old when Image started in 92. I feel like I know what fun, good comics are. They're just entertaining, and that's just not what we have nowadays. When you look at the art, look at the stories, I don't think you're going to find that. But I would say definitely hit the back issues. I mean, go into a comic book store and hit the back issues. Get into the back issues, and go back to the X-Men, Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, X-Force, like all those books. Go back, further than that. It's just there's great comic books out there if you want to read modern comics. There's definitely something you can find for sure. I just seem to think that more of the indie scene right now is a little bit more, or a lot bit better, a lot bit better.
I mean,
a lot better. And when it comes to stories and passion and what you like out of comic books, you're going to get more in the indie scene.
Put it this way. My father's been reading Wolverine since Wolverine came out as a character. My dad can no longer read Wolverine. What does that tell you?
Yeah.
And he owns like even some of the weirdest and wackiest Wolverine shit. I mean, Darklaw. Was that super great? Do you know what I'm saying? Was that something that was super great? Let's be honest.
It wasn't super great,
but it was fun.
It's kind of cool
it was
design,
fun,
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
We should really look at the amalgam.
Amalgam verse.
Yeah. We should.
I have to find it because I don't actually have any of those issues, but I'll have to find it. We should look at it because that would be fun.
Oh my god!
I remember when it happened.
So Darklaw was Wolverine mixed with Batman. Basically, it was DC and Marvel decided to mash together. They mashed them together.
Yeah, there was some storyline where there was a crossover and something happened where
it was great.
The characters mashed together, and you had, who else did they have? It was
they had so many different
Superman and Captain America. I think they were amalgamation of each other.
Hold on, I gotta look up the list because I can't think off of the top of my head right now. Hold on.
Does your comic store have like a trade of that or something? Or
whenever they come in, they sell. I know my dad has some buried.
I'll have to find some because we'll do that.
Like, let me look it up.
Was it Super Soldier? Okay, Super Soldier. You had Superboy. That's right. Superboy and Spider-Man mashed up. Dr. Fate, Doctor Strange. There we go. The Flash and Ghost Rider. Really?
Hal Stark.
Interesting.
Access. Dr. Doomsday. Galactic.
Nice.
The Amazons, which the Amazon, I believe. Who the fuck was it? The Green Skull. Jubilee and Robin, they Speed Demon. That was the one that the Flash was.
About. Okay, so okay. It's Flash and Ghost Rider. Very cool. Yeah, we're gonna. It's been forever. Well, what is it?
Cat's Eye.
Oh.
It was like a combination of who the fuck was Cat's Eye again? Yeah, Storm and Wonder Woman was Amazons. I think that's what it's called.
Bullets and Bracelets. I honestly only remember Darklaw for some reason.
It was Elektra and Catwoman. That's what it was. Cat's Eye was Elektra and Catwoman.
Okay. Oh yeah, let's do it. Let's find some. It might be something we have to plan for because I have absolutely none of those issues. So I'm gonna have to go find what I can find, and we'll look. Do you know who the artist groups in that was?
Let me take a look and see.
I remember some of the covers being pretty cool from what I remember.
I have to look at. I think a lot of the artwork was actually really cool, to be honest. Amalgam.
I do remember the Speed Demon now that somebody mentioned it. I do remember the cover that he looks that.
Okay,
I think
so
the Speed Demon one cover.
Amalgam. Let's see who did. So for DC, John Byrne. All right, so John Byrne, Scott McDaniel, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Kevin Nolan.
Oh, okay.
Howard Porter, John Dell, Jim Valiant, Ray McCarthy.
That's a good name.
Let me see. Dave Gibbons.
Okay.
Hold on.
Jim Ballant and Dark Claw.
Let's see. The Chuck Dixon wrote that. Carrie Nord, Mark Pennington, Gary Frank, Jeff Matsuda, Art T. Bear worked on Magneto and Magnetic Men from the
All right, we're definitely gonna.
Yeah.
We'll search it out. We'll get something going in the future.
Al Milligram, Mark Wirigo, Gary Martin, Bill Sienkiewicz, Rodolfo DiMaggio, Ty Templeton, Rick Burchett, Adam Polina, Oscar Jimenez, Hannibal Rodriguez, Val Semex, Ray Chrising, Jimmy Palmiotti, Dave Gimmons, Tom Grumet, Alve, Brian Hitch, Paul Neary, Paul Smith, Barry Kitson and Dan Pisonian. I actually think that was Dan Pisonian's, or I like Dan Pisonian, his art style.
It's okay.
I like it.
I was never a huge fan of it's all right.
John Romita Jr.
Luxurious Mindset said, "What's up with the characters changing their orientations for the same gender? It's just the political narrative stuff that they're doing. Yeah, I mean, look at DC Universe. Pretty much everybody's bi in DC. I mean, that's not even a joke. Pretty much everybody is bi in the DC Universe, bi or gay. It's just, political narratives of today. That's what it is. It's activists and political narratives, political people coming into comic books and trying to tell you what you should like and what you should accept."
With the whole Wolverine thing with Scott Cyclops, that was it for me. That was it. I had to stop.
Yeah.
It's always been about Jean Grey to make it seem like it's been a secret thing with Scott. That's what it really was, and putting them in a three-way relationship and then saying it was empowering for Jean. How, to make her a whore?
Right.
I'm sorry. No offense to anyone who chooses to live their life that way, but that's not who Jean Grey was. I mean, Scott was always the cheater. She was a good girl.
And again, it's just the political narratives of stuff today, and that's mainly what CG is against. We don't preach. We don't push anything on anybody. We make comic books that are just fun comics.
And there are gay characters, and there's every kind of character possible within CG. I want to say, and there's every kind of creator possible. Everyone just wants to make their own creations. And everyone has the freedom to create whatever that they want to create. And I love that. And everyone in this community, it's so diverse. You have every kind of writer possible out there writing stuff and pushing their dream with passion at that. Just doing it because it's what they want to do. It's amazing. So when you back a crowdfunded book, you're really helping someone's dream come true and help bringing a project to life.
That's the beauty of crowdfunding.
So
crowdfunding is really to help the creator get the book out, fulfill a dream. A lot of us couldn't do what we do without crowdfunding, without the support of the chat, without support of Comicsgate. It's really a special thing. When Hojo was on last week, we really talked about just how important it is when it comes to the crowdfunding for some of us that would never have the opportunity to get a character out in the industry today. And Bordeaux says Scott never cheated. I don't remember him cheating either, but I haven't read for a long time.
What do you mean? He cheated with Psylocke. He cheated with Emma Frost.
I would have cheated with Emma Frost.
As soon as what? How could you cheat on Jean Grey? She's the ultimate redhead. No, when he thought Jean was dead, that's when he went after Madeline Pryor and dated Madeline Pryor because she looked just like Jean. And then what did he do? Lie about a situation with Madeline Pryor and was off with Jean. He's a scumbag, and he always has psychic affairs. I'm sorry. I hate Scott. I always wanted her to go off and be with Wolverine, not in a three-way relationship, but it's because I felt that Wolverine and Jean very similar, because both of them, now I don't like what they've done with the Phoenix Force with Jean Grey. What they've done is horrible. They made the Phoenix Force fucking everyone's. It's never how it was. It was always supposed to be like, I can't even talk about it. Then they ruined the whole Phoenix Force, the whole Dark Phoenix saga in an Avengers issue, and made the Phoenix fucking Thor's mother. So fuck Thor's origin too. I can't even go on.
Scott just became my hero. Yeah, Scott just became my hero. Only simply thinking about it isn't doing the deed. I mean, talking about Psylocke. I mean, come on now. Psylocke was hot.
Yeah, they ended up body swapping and swapping powers, and that's how Jean ended up with more powers. Yeah, the Phoenix Force was originally tied to the Grey family, and Jean was the one that always had the ultimate power with it.
Me too, Bordeaux.
So
me too.
Now they've made it like the Phoenix Force can just go to everyone. Like, anyone else that had ever had the Phoenix Force, there was always a cost. The Phoenix Force was using them, basically, like with Scott, made them go fucking crazy. They can't control it. Now Echo has the Phoenix Force, and this person has the Phoenix Force, and they got a Phoenix Force of every fucking color, which it made no sense. It made sense with the blue Phoenix Force for Rachel, Jean's daughter.
Blue Phoenix Force.
I can't even go on. And what they did to Rachel Summers and Franklin Richards, I can't. Oh my God.
Steven said you all just broke poor Kayla. You did. You just sent her into a tizzy.
The X-Men
pull it back. Pull it back. Pull it back. Get out of the tailspin.
Jesus Christ. Poor someone, dear Lord, Marc Silvestri. I'm praying to you right now. Marc Silvestri, God, please allow him to write a mini X-Men issue.
That would be awesome.
After this Batman series, please, someone fix my X-Men. God, I'm praying.
Yeah, pretty much everybody's saying. I mean, and that's a problem with modern comics. The rants that Kayla has done today is absolutely true. I mean, stuff like, almost anybody can pick up Thor's hammer. The things that were sacred in comics, or the things that were unique to characters and character building. Some writer that had no respect for the legacy of the character, the history of the character, came in and be like, what would be cool if this? And that's where it all went to shit. Honestly, it did. I mean, there's so many. I mean,
let's take what ifs, because we're out of ideas, and make the what ifs a reality.
Exactly.
So what ifs were really just cool
one
shots. Let's bring Conan into fucking the Avengers. Who the fuck made this decision?
Is that still going on?
Marvel lost their rights to Conan, I think.
Oh, that's right.
Now,
wait, did they?
Yeah, but you know what? Thank God, because I've loved Conan for a very long time, and that was an abomination. That Conan main title, the artwork was good in the Conan stuff. I will say the artwork was good. The storyline was absolute shit. And then Savage Avengers, what the fuck? And then you got Wolverine berating Conan for being a man. Wolverine berating Conan for masculinity.
Another, yeah. So I mean,
I can't.
Yeah, that's.
I'm gonna cry. Depressed.
If you, I was just gonna say, she just went on. She shattered there, going all different directions. But yeah, that's a good overview of what's wrong with modern comics. That's it. So if you're coming from manga and you're getting into modern comics, that's probably what you have to look forward to. Otherwise, I would say go into the back issues, look at the back issues, anything pre-2010. There's still some good stuff that came out of there. 2005, 2000, pre that. Go back and experience some really cool character building, legacy characters as well. And then CG, Comicsgate, independent comics, check them out. But glad you joined the chat. Keep an eye on the channel. Be in the chat all the time. We love talking to new people. We love talking to everybody that's been here from the beginning. It's always great to see new people coming into the chat and making themselves known.
Yes.
We have the Wolfer.
I don't know how to say that. Oh, that is I don't know how to say that. Yeah, I don't even know what the dots on top of it are called. I'm sorry.
Hail Joe, hail Kaylin, hail the chat. Hail to you. Hail to you. All right. Okay, guys.
If you want a Conan comic book, read The Sumerian, because it is fucking phenomenal.
Yes.
I'm just saying, it's like the best Conan comic book in ages.
Hey, thank you, 6 a.m. By the way, 6 a.m., when is the title match for the CGFW that pits me and Mark Polton? I'm going after the belt.
Why am I not in a title match? Why am I not dressed like the Macho Man in this show? Why? I would fucking dominate. I am a beast.
You are a beast, but I won the Royal Rumble. I won the Royal Rumble, and I was in there for quite a while, and I won it. So now I get to wrestle for the championship. That's coming up here pretty soon. I don't know. Date to be determined. Okay. Okay, so I haven't missed it.
You're gonna fight Marc Polton in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, have you not seen those?
No, I have seen them. They're
Okay, yeah,
entertaining.
because Polton's got the belt. Polton's got the belt right now. He's the champion from last year.
I was dying at one of the ones he made. I think it was with Aaron Lopresti in there. Oh.
Hail, Dr. Benz. Fun show. Love some Silvestri. Art, good discussion too. Well, thank you for being here. Appreciate you guys. Darren Wagner's in the house. D-Wag, what's up? Bow. Hashtag gatekept. Oh,
I guess I am a gatekeeper. I am freaking a gatekeeper of the X-Men. I don't give a fuck. 6 a.m.
Yeah.
Crushes that psychopath.
Oh, all right. Hey, everybody tune in. We'll let you know when there's a date, and who knows? Maybe we'll even cover it after it's all said and done, so everybody can see my glorious victory when it does happen. Friggin' bow, yeah. It's basically just Wolfler. Okay. I just used the dots to make it look cool. I dig that, though. I dig that about you. Thank you for being here. All right, guys. Thursday, we have Marc Polton on JMS Talks Comics Live. We're going to be talking about, was it Harley's Heroes? I can't remember. The new book he's got coming out now. Obviously, we'll probably maybe talk a little bit more about the big match that's coming up. Next Tuesday, we're going to have a review of Batman, the Joker, Deadly Duo, issue 3. So check that out. It's going to be fun as always. And then next Thursday, guys, is the return of Ott and Stuff. Sean Ahrendt is coming back to the show after being gone for half a year at least. It's been a while since he's been back. Ott and Stuff is coming back officially on Thursdays on this channel at 8 o'clock. He will be back. We're going to be having a fun show next Thursday. So next 3 shows are going to be a hell of a lot of fun. Kayla, where are you going to be next? What are you doing?
On here with you. unless I'm on Jeremy's channel talking about Game of Thrones.
Yes, everybody check that out. It was a Sundays usually at 10.
So he's been starting out different days, like Mondays or Sundays. So yeah, I mean, Leandro would know the next time that we're probably going to do some House of the Dragon and Game of Thrones talk. So as long as I'm not working, I don't have any interviews set up because I've been working on some things. But once that's settled, I will go back to interviewing on Thursdays, and I will be on after Art and Stuff. So it's like you guys are on Art and Stuff, and then I'm on at 9:30. So
yeah,
maybe our shows are going to overlap, but I can't stream any.
I want to mostly keep Odd Stuff to a shorter show, except for Sean's return will probably just be a little bit longer because we're gonna invite him back or celebrate him coming back, invite friends to come on and hang out and just have a good time and celebrating that he's back. And then we're going to get up rolling again. Agent Cub Jacob says, how's your book coming? Is good. We are around about half the book has been penciled, probably a little over half at this point. And right on track, hoping to get that out in July. So very excited. The book is looking great. The Green Laser said, Jeremy is on now. Yeah. He bounces around. He used to have set days. I think he's testing out different waters and different time for viewership and all that. I do appreciate everybody that is here. We've been holding just around 50, a little under 50 for most of the time we've been here. You guys have been awesome. I think we topped out at 60 at one point, if I looked at it correctly. So you chat.
My nervous breakdown.
You guys, maybe that's what it is. The nervous breakdown. You guys all center talking about modern comics, but specifically the X-Men. You broke her. You all broke her.
I broke myself.
Yeah, Game of Thrones, Kayla's Game of Thrones, lore, knowledge, thoughts is fun and awesome. Always great when you jump on. That's the thing about Kayla, man. She knows what she's talking about. That's why she became a host of this show. We had her on once as a guest, and Sean and I were so impressed with her knowledge of comics and her love for comics.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love you guys.
We never wanted her to leave.
I can't wait till we get to be a trifecta again.
Yes, it's going to be great. It's going to be awesome having Sean back, everybody. So definitely tune in. Tune in to all the shows, but definitely tune in next Thursday at 8 o'clock and welcome Sean back. I'd like to get as many people in here as possible, and let's just have a good time welcoming our brother back. It was nice talking to you. Thank you for being here.
Yeah, and come back again sometime. Read something and let us know your opinion on it. maybe you could pick up the first 3 issues of the Batman Deadly Duo and we could hear your opinions on it. It would be interesting because
that is a good place to start. You should definitely do that because since we're covering it on this channel a lot, definitely do that because we'll be looking at issue 3 next Tuesday. So if you get a chance, go get issue 1, 2, and 3, and then you'll be all caught up, and we can discuss it next week for sure.
Yeah, we love having new people here, and we like getting to know people. And as you're a manga fan, and you want to get into comics, and hopefully you'll become a comic fan. We're all about that, As long as you love art and you like a good story, you are always welcome here. What do you say, Joe?
1000%. 1000%. We're very welcoming on this channel. All right, everybody. We will see you all. Well, I'll see you Thursday, but we will see you back here next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. Be good to each other. Take care of each other. And as always, picture me naked. Talk to you later. Peace.